and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for the full match preview ahead of Barça versus Valladolid this Saturday. And it is again a packed preview to come today. After I really appreciate your feedback there on the last preview, thank you a lot for that, guys, and I'm glad that you are enjoying them, because again today, plenty coming up. We've got injury updates, full updates there on injuries, transfer news as well to come, possible lineups, opposition report, and the all-new prediction segment. It's all on the way for you. I hope you enjoy it. So let's do this. And I do want to start with some very special super thanks shout-outs here on the channel. Big shout-out here to Dani, who was one of those yesterday that maybe became a bit more clear on the new Champions League draw format after the video. So thank you indeed. Really happy to help out there. Also big support coming in from Colorado in the USA. Thank you very much for tuning in to all of the Barca news. And a big one here indeed. Long-time viewer of the channel. When passion meets dedication. That is very kind indeed. And by the way, more TalkFCB needs love too. You will be happy today because I finally uploaded on that channel. So there's an extra video there waiting for you guys when you finish this one. Or maybe you've already watched it, and if you have, well, hats off to you. Incredible support there. But let's start with the league table in La Liga. And this is absolutely fantastic, guys. We're only here in match day 4. Barca already stand alone at the top of the league. That's absolutely extraordinary here. And it's not even Real Madrid or Atletico that are behind us right now. Villarreal are 2 points back. Celta Vigo there are 3 behind. But as you can see, Atleti and Real, after just 3 games of the season, they are already 4 points back. That is an incredible start from Barca, and it's a really lacklustre start from those 2 Madrid teams, and especially last night, we did talk about it over on More Talk FCB, but Real Madrid not combining at all against Las Palmas, especially their Mbappe and Vinicius. What was going on with them 2 last night? I'm sure Ancelotti, in the end, will find a way to figure it all out. He always seems to find a way with Madrid and big players, but I think what Barca have got to do here, keep that pressure on and keep taking advantage at every available opportunity. What we've got to do here is build up the largest possible gap that we can. Strike while the iron is hot here. And that's what we've been doing, because confidence at Barca right now, out there on the field, it is absolutely sky high. And I think we've been buoyed even more so now with the arrival of Dani Olmo, who can finally play, of course, in this Barca team. And I was going to say, he feels like a new signing. Well, he actually is, but didn't he play incredibly well there on his debut against Rayo? Got the winning goal as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And I think we're all looking forward to seeing more of him. I think we're all looking forward to see more of this team, because every match day right now, we're sitting down, we're enjoying the team play. We're really energised, I think, by the style of play that Flick has brought here. It's exciting. It is full flowing attacking football, and it is refreshing to see it, Barca. And I'm expecting another fun game on Saturday. I'm expecting us here to pepper the goal once again, get shots away, create lots of chances, and bring the intensity from minute 1 to minute 95 and beyond, because it's vital that we continue our winning run here, given this is our final game before the international break, because literally we have just come back from an entire summer of international football tournaments. So what do football's governing bodies think we need after just a few weeks of a brand new club season? Oh, it's an international break. Of course we needed more international football. Let's play. Let's continue here this run. We don't want to stop. But indeed, guys, if we do take a look at our opponents for this coming Saturday, it will be Rayo Vallecano, who have started the season in a mixed manner, really. Although they did win on the opening weekend against Espanyol. But hey, anybody can beat Espanyol. Well, apart from Atleti earlier on this week. But hey, they did get a win on the board. And I do actually think there, that 3-0 defeat that Valladolid had against Real Madrid, that doesn't actually tell the full story of the game. They actually kept Real Madrid at bay for 50 minutes of it. They were frustrating them for a lot of that game, only to finally concede. And then those final goals only went in against them in the final minutes of the game. So they actually stood up quite well to that challenge there. And it's not going to be an easy one. We cannot take any opponent lightly. But certainly here at home, there's an opportunity for us with the confidence bubbling away, with lots of energy, lots of excitement here amongst the team. This is an opportunity for a big win. However, However, guys, there will still be a number of absentees for Barca in this game that we must talk about here in the injury update, because obviously, let's start with Marc Bernal. It is an incredibly sad situation here with the youngster. Our worst fears were confirmed. He has suffered a ruptured ACL in his left knee, along with an injury to his lateral meniscus. It is the stuff of nightmares, and I'm absolutely gutted that it's happened. It will mean here that he does miss the entirety of the campaign. Even though it's only just started, he is out for the season. It is heartbreaking given his breakthrough into the team, given the trust that Hansi Flick was placing in him. The performances that he was putting out were absolutely extraordinary. But I do just want to say here, guys, he's only 17 years old right now, and he shouldn't actually be too long turned 18 by the time that he's back out on the field. And I think here he's got plenty of time on his side. There's so much talent, so much ability in his locker. He has every single person at the club here within the fan base behind him, and certainly within the club, they are really looking to make sure that he knows they are behind him. What we're hearing right now in the media is that during the coming weeks, Barca will try to renew Marc Bernal's contract until 2029. His current deal expires in 2026 here, but the club want to convey their full trust in him, to say, look, we will be here waiting. We will be waiting to have you in our team still. And obviously, it's a really tough time for him right now. Emotionally, he's going through it, but he's such a big talent and somebody who we will see in our team in the near future. We will all be waiting for his return. But of course, guys, especially given Marc Bernal's injury, one player that we really need in our midfield right now, more than ever, to be honest, it has to be Frenkie de Jong. So what exactly is going on with him right now? When can we expect to see him back on the field? Well, that kind of depends on who you're asking right now, because there are some people in the media that say in 2 weeks' time, somewhere around 2 to 3 weeks, maybe after the international break, Frenkie de Jong will be back in this team and ready to play. But there are others in the media who are not so optimistic right now, and they say that Frenkie keeps refusing surgery, but if he doesn't get it, with the kind of injury that he has, with the chronic issues that he's suffering with, he may not actually be the same player when he does return. So honestly, on Frenkie right now, we still don't know exactly where we stand. I think we have to look mainly at Flick's words today. He said he hopes that Frenkie doesn't need surgery. He said he's in the process of recovery. He's training well. He has taken a step forward. So maybe there have been some positive developments on Frenkie, but he said we're going to have to wait and see how he develops. The medical team has treated him well, and we will see what happens after the break. So right now with Frenkie, it's very much a case here of just monitoring him day by day, seeing how he feels, how that ankle is healing. Is there pain? Can he play? Have there been any setbacks? So honestly, after the international break, it's going to be important to see where we stand. Something has to happen. We have to make a decision one way or the other. Hopefully, he's going to be able to return. Hopefully, he will not need any surgery, because like I say, we need him back. However, guys, in the meantime, in that defensive midfield area, could Eric Garcia be an option for that position? Because Eric Garcia actually was rumoured to be leaving the club this summer. He looked to be on his way back to Girona. Then he got injured. Then Andreas Christensen got injured. And then Marc Bernal got injured. And now Eric Garcia is back. And I think Hansi Flick is probably looking around his squad right now and thinking, you know what? I might actually need some centre-back cover, and I also might need somebody who can play and provide cover as well in defensive midfield if needed. Because Flick said today on whether Eric could actually play there, he said Eric's natural position is centre-back, but he said with the circumstances we have, it's very positive for us to have players who can play in several positions, like Rafinha can, for example. He said it's the team that matters most and not the individual. So Eric Garcia looks to be staying, and we may actually need to deploy him in a number of different roles. Now, just before, though, we do move on to the lineup, one thing I would say here, and one man to keep an eye on, I feel, Robert Lewandowski. He does have 3 goals after 3 games here. He is the leading goal scorer right now in La Liga, and he also leads the league in expected goals, and that's of course the chances that he's received, equate there to just over 3 goals to his name. So I think here what we're seeing with Lewandowski is is him getting more chances under Hansi Flick. We are having more opportunities in front of goal, and I think there's real potential there for Lewandowski to actually score even more, and I think he will even know that there. The chances he's getting, also with the arrival of Dani Olmo, Lewandowski, I believe, can score more goals here, and he will be pushing himself. Flick as well will be pushing Lewandowski, and I want you to keep an eye on him, because with the arrival here of Dani Olmo, how will that affect Robert Lewandowski? You know, playing just in behind him there, you know, the kind of spaces that he operates in. We saw it plenty of times at the Euros, and I actually believe here that Olmo will only help Lewandowski. We saw him at the Euros, like I say, playing in behind Morata, and he helped Morata there. He didn't leave him isolated. He was playing in and around him, combining with him at times, making runs beyond him. Lewandowski, I feel, could benefit from all of those things, and that is another area here where Dani Olmo should contribute positively in this Hansi Flick team. But indeed, guys, as we do move on here to talk about the potential lineup from Hansi Flick, I'm really intrigued, actually, what he's going to do this weekend. The final game here before the international break, because obviously in midweek against Rayo, we did not see much rotation at all from him there. It was a very determined, very steely performance from Barça, and the lineup, only one change from the match against Athletic Club. So it's going to depend here, I feel, this weekend on how the players have recovered from what was an intense game against Rayo. We had to work for the win the whole game there. We were pushing to get back in the game, of course, but I think we need a final push here, don't we? Before this international break, we want to make it 4 wins out of 4, and I would kind of expect here, unless anything happens in the meantime, for Flick to go strong again. I think he is going to count on the players that have been performing, that are high on confidence, and we will see them involved once again from the start. I believe we're going to see Ter Stegen, Koundé, Kubasi, Inigo, and Balde along the back line. He's going to return there to the starting lineup. I think probably Casado is going to be the one to replace Marc Bernal alongside Pedri. There is a possibility, though, that Fermin Lopez could make his way into midfield in some way. But then, is Dani Olmo going to start? Could he be their central? Yamal and Rafinha either side of him, with Lewandowski leading the line. And I've got to say, guys, no matter what stage of the game we're in here, no matter when we see it, I cannot wait for Yamal, Olmo, Rafinha. There is so much creativity there. There's also so much versatility. You know, you could have Rafinha cutting inside a bit, Olmo drifting out to the left-hand side at different points in the game, and I think there's so much quality there. And Lewandowski, believe me, he is going to get chances. We need him, like I say, to be finishing them, but the chances will appear for him. With those 3 in behind him, it is going to be an absolute joy to watch. But what about the all-important predictions ahead of this game, guys? Because obviously we introduced the new prediction system against Rayo. I got 0 points. I got nothing right at all from that game. But you guys, as a community, you did kind of join me. Individually, you might have done better. I'm sure many of you got the correct selections on your own. But let's see this weekend if we can all get some points on the board. You have opted for the same selection in terms of Barca's winning margin. You are confident here that Barca will win by 2 goals in this game. There has been plenty of votes as well for 3, but 2 goals is the pick there. And remember, 2 points if you do get that correct. But here's the thing, because I think here, although Barca have had 3 successive wins, all of those, by the way, have been 2-1 victories. That is really, really interesting. And Barca have actually scored exactly 2 goals in 8 of their last 10 league games. That goes right the way back to last season. But here's the thing, I think there's the potential for more here. I believe here that we're verging on a big win and a big scoreline, and I think it might come now. I am going to go for a Barca victory by 3 goals this weekend. I think we're going to score, I think we're going to be clinical, and I think we're going to find the back of the net regularly against Valladolid. But what about the first goal scorer? Because you guys believe again that's going to be Robert Lewandowski. That was not the case against Rayo. Is it going to be here? And remember, if you get that selection right, it is 3 points for that verdict. So Lewandowski is what you're going with as a community. I am going to go with Lamine Yamal. And I'm actually going to say here, not only that Lamine Yamal is going to score the first goal, but I think he's going to be assisted by Dani Olmo for that opener. They assisted each other for the winner against Rayo. That time it was Olmo scoring, Yamal assisting. I believe this time Yamal is going to score with Olmo getting the assist, guys. And just let me know in the comments down below, do you believe here that you should get 1 point if the player that you choose to score the first goal of the game for Barca actually ends up getting the assist there? So say you chose Lewandowski to get that opening goal for Barca, but he didn't, but he assisted. Should you get a consolation point? Let me know that in the comments down below, but I'm going for a win by 3 for Barca and Yamal to score first. However, guys, we are not done yet. Like I say, it was a packed video. We got a lot going on here in these match previews right now because there's still time for transfer news in today's video. I wanted to give you an update on several different players here because obviously we were looking very closely at Federico Chiesa. He wanted to join Barca. He was very, very keen. His wages were very manageable indeed, and he was willing actually to wait for Barca, but it quickly became clear to him that Barca were not coming. They were not going to be able to even make a concrete offer to Juve. Nothing in the end was done by Barca for Chiesa, and then he promptly moved on to Liverpool, and everybody's talking about what brilliant business Chiesa is for them. Let's wait and see how he gets on. And it was a very similar situation with Liverpool's own midfielder, Stefan Bajcetic, who I may or may not have pronounced correctly, but he is a 19-year-old there that Barca were looking at on a potential loan deal. There was going to be no buy option in that deal. So what we were going to do basically is get him in while Bernal was injured. We were basically going to develop somebody else's player for them. But it turns out again that Barca anyway, they might have been interested, they might have even spoken to the player, but they were never in a position to actually make that move happen. And it didn't, because then he ended up going straight to RB Salzburg. So it's another deal that Barca here were never going to be able to get done. And there have been rumours linking us with Bayer Leverkusen's Jonathan Tah, a centre-back of course, and not for the first time either. Barca have been tracking him for quite some years now, and Flick refused to comment on these rumours in his press conference, but Fabrizio Romano says right now that Bayern are the only clubs in negotiations for Tah and not Barca at this stage. So right now, guys, on the transfer front, it looks as though our business is all done for the summer, and I still believe here, guys, no matter what we're seeing out there on the field, no matter what we're doing in terms of the performances, we still need to ask big questions here of the planning this summer and the way that our business was conducted. I think Laporta and Deco, they've got to look at the way that they made key decisions. They have to look at the way, especially in the case of Laporta, that he spoke out too much. He simply did. You made too many promises there, and you've got to choose your words a lot more carefully, I think. Don't make promises that you can't keep when it comes to signings, when it comes to the 1-for-1 rule, when it comes to the deal with Nike. All of these things have failed to materialise, and in the end, we've not done a great deal. You know, Flick right now is doing wonders with this squad. He's really knitting everybody together, and he's doing the best with what he has. And luckily, that was one of the big decisions that they did get right. The arrival of Flick, he is cooking on the field, but Deco and Laporta, it was not a good summer for them. So that there, guys, is a complete preview ahead of our game this weekend. And like I say, I really do hope you are enjoying the preview videos here with a bit of added spice. We're doing a few more things. We're adding a few more topics here for us all to discuss together. And I really do hope that you are enjoying them. So let me know all of your predictions down below. What's the scoreline going to be? Who is going to score first for Barca? And will we make it 4 wins out of 4 in La Liga? I will see you tomorrow for the big game to come. Thank you indeed for watching, though, to all of you guys. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.